All right, so today, y'all, respectfully the podcast, we got two lovely guests here today. First, we're going to introduce this young lady. She's a lot, right? She got a lot going on. She interned at UKG and Union Pacific. She's a UNO graduate. She holds a degree in business administration with a concentration in supply chain management. She's leveraged the skill sets from corporate America to pivot into entrepreneurship in just 10 months. She's currently a short-term rental coach in the Airbnb space, and this is my lovely daughter, Aiyonna. So we're going to get started with you, Aiyonna, before we bring out Kurla, and
Okay.
just kind of catching up, asking you some questions about what you got going on. My
First.
baby has moved from Omaha to Nashville and Miami. So first of all, tell the people, what was that like? Your journey from Omaha, Nashville is a slightly bigger city, and now the transition to Miami. What is that like? How does that feel?
Yeah, so definitely first, thank you for having me here. And I would say the biggest thing is going from Omaha to Nashville was the best first city for me to go to because now Miami is way bigger, right? So Nashville was like that little leg up, more traffic than Omaha, more people than I was used to. Omaha's not that diverse. So seeing more black people doing bigger things, owning businesses, and that was really, just great to feel. And then transitioning from that to now Miami, it's like crazy. Like it's even 10 times more. It's more people, more
Wow.
ambition, more businesses. So it's such an
Yeah.
amazing experience. More than I ever saw growing up, honestly.
Yeah, that's huge. I remember when I went to Miami like 2 years ago, they downtown was more confusing than Atlanta's. Like all the big buildings and all that. I'm like, wow. So to know you in
Yeah.
Miami, that's a huge leap.
Yeah.
What gives you that courage? How does a young lady from Omaha
Mhm.
jump all the way down to Miami? Where do you get that courage from?
I would say I really get it just from being, I'm kind of like a YOLO person. So just like, honestly, you get one life. So the courage just comes from me seeing, other people who are older than me and seeing maybe they didn't try everything. So I'm like, what happens if I do? Like just that what if and knowing that I can push it to the furthest limit.
Okay. And so how did you get into Airbnb? Why Airbnb? And how did you get into the Airbnb space?
Yeah, so I chose Airbnb because I've always been interested in getting into real estate, but I thought for further things in real estate, like, rental properties and multifamily, you have to have a lot of money saved and all of the things. And then for Airbnb, you don't need that much saved up and you can start without owning property. So this is super easy for me at a young age without much savings and like limited credit. So it was super easy to get into, and I got into it by finding a mentor who was also literally just 1 year older than me, and so I paid my way to learn everything, and it gave me the shortcut basically to success, I would say.
I was going to ask you that too. Did you have a mentor? How did that start? So
Mm.
as a young entrepreneur, because I know a lot of entrepreneurs, their benefit, they say they get to wake up whenever they want to.
Mhm.
All those, there's probably other perks, but all the benefits that entrepreneurs say. How do you, as a young lady, how do you manage your time? Is time management important as an entrepreneur to you?
Yeah, so I manage my time by writing everything down. I'm a huge planner, and I would say I probably get that from you, Dad. I'm a huge planner and using Google Calendar. Like I recently implemented time blocking my day since there is multiple streams with the coaching and the actual Airbnb business. So just having time blocks and like knowing that okay, before 11 a.m. is my me time, so just prioritizing that, still reaping the benefits of entrepreneurship, but then also setting aside dedicated time for my business and goals as well.
Wow. Wow, that's good. Well, I'm glad I was able to you picked up some traits from your dad. That's cool.
For
And
sure.
just so y'all know, I don't give myself any accolades for Aiyana's success other than her being my daughter. She's got this on her own, developed this, she's pushing, she's motivated. I'm very thankful that she's driven. And so she's grown this from the bottom all on her own. So kudos to you, baby.
Thank
How
you.
are you utilizing? I know you talked about credit and things like that. How are you utilizing your personal credit and business credit to move forward? Because you say like this is it's easy, but for the viewers, just coming out and when you say it's easy, it really like help me understand how Airbnb space is easy and how are you utilizing the funding, the personal credit and business credit.
Yeah, so I would say I literally didn't have that much of a personal credit history other than one credit card. And so the fact that I was able to repair my credit, get like part, all the negative items off, remove that, which most people think that, oh, if I have collections, I have repos, inquiries, I can't do nothing with my credit. You know, that's what everybody thinks. And it's like, no, you can get that removed in under a year. And then once you build your credit to a certain amount, that's when you have access to 0% credit. So compared to usual business credit, it's not a loan. It's something that banks give like new businesses like Chase, Bank of America, and they want you to come build a relationship with them and then get funding. So when I say it's easy, it's because it takes under a year to build your credit, and then you can literally go get access to $50,000 to $100,000 in 0% business funding. So you don't have no
Uh-huh.
interest for the whole year.
So you get the loan through the business funding, but
Mm-hmm.
how do you implement that into the Airbnb space?
Mm-hmm.
Help me understand that.
Yes. So instead of a loan, though, it's a credit card. And so when you get that, you literally use that credit card to then take it and apply for the apartment complex. So say you get an apartment for your first unit, you rent that from a landlord, and everything that you would use for paying rent, for furnishing it, like making it look nice, decorating it, all of that you pay for on a credit card. So just like you go shop for your normal apartment, you do the same thing, but now you're going to put it on Airbnb.
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
you're currently hosting a coaching program and packages and giving back to people already. Explain
Yes.
expound on that a little bit.
Yeah, so when I first started, I had posted my journey on Instagram, and so many people, we come from a small city, and so I know I didn't see anybody else doing this. And so I think when I posted it, so many others were like me, and that just gave them a way to like raise their hand, like, oh my gosh, me too. I want to do this too. I want to do this. So that gave them hope. And so many people were asking me, how do you start? How do you start? And I was doing a lot of it and just giving a lot of energy and time, really helping people build their credit and everything. And so I'm like, let's make it a whole program, so we can all build this community together and really just thrive and really just help a bunch of people from the Midwest, because it's not just Omaha, right? Like there's Kansas
Right.
City, there's all those little cities where people are, there's somebody like me there who needs just somebody to help them and give them the way to go.
Right, right. That was brilliant. That's good. Yeah, good way to segue and start monetizing
Yes,
different
exactly.
avenues within the industry. So
Exactly.
tell me this: you being young, 23 years old, entrepreneur. I know from experience, friends start to feel some kind of way when you just kind of catapulting, you moving, and you don't have that time for them no more.
Yeah.
How are you managing that? How are your friends responding to this new journey, and how are you managing that?
I would say so. In the beginning, I was having a hard time figuring it out and learning how to manage it. But the main thing that I've learned is as long as you still touch base, like, okay, if they reach out and I have the time, I'll respond. If I don't have the time, I can't respond, period, point blank. Like we live a different life. And some people have responded in ways like, oh, they've taken it personal. Like maybe I might just say a message and they're like, well, maybe, like, are you saying I don't fit into your new life? And I just have to reassure them that's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to, like I tried to help you, I tried to give you the ropes, but maybe, we're just at different paths in life, and that's okay. But as long as I'm there when I need them, I've just learned I could be there when they need me. And like I just reach out, check on them when I can. And that's what support. Everybody can't come to the top. That's what I've learned. And some people's habits is where they are now. So maybe I'll see them later.
Right. Good
Mhm.
way to sum that up. Good way to sum it up. Okay, so where can the people follow you at? Reach out to you if they want to get into the Airbnb space. Give them your channels.
For sure. So I'm on Instagram and TikTok at the Aiyonna Holland. I'm not sure if there's gonna be tech stuff, but that's where you can find me. I'm also on YouTube, so we're actively building that. It's just Aiyonna Holland on YouTube. So thank you for having me.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, so next we want to talk to my man Kurla here. Kurla is from South Sudan. This man has beat the odds with racially profiling in Omaha, Nebraska. He was wrongfully convicted and served 9 months in Douglas County. He moved to Nashville himself. He's currently the owner operator of Blue Vision LLC in the transportation business. Kurla, welcome my man. That what a story, what a journey. And I know we don't have a whole lot of time to get into it all, but I definitely want to hear more all about it. But Curly, tell the people, South Sudan, first of all, where is that located and what's the culture and the people like over there?
Yes, sir. So thanks for having me first for sure. So
Definitely.
basically, South Sudan is on the south side of the African continent. And then really it goes all the way back in time when it was like a big war going on in Africa. So my parents has escaped that war. They was fortunate enough out of one of the people to come to America as a refugee. And then from there, our journey has started as a family. So we really did have no financial literacy. They was just working a
Mhm.
9 to 5 forever. And then me and my eight, nine siblings,
Wow.
just try to find a way, trying to find our way out of here. You know what I mean? Trying to financial literacy and everything like that. So we was in an environment in Omaha, Nebraska, North Omaha, Nebraska, where it was just a lot of violence and everything like that. So with that being said, my family had very much encounters with the law enforcement, and they wasn't going to the right direction. They didn't have no guidance and everything like that. So it was all chaos. So
Wow.
at first, my older brothers and them had encounters with law enforcement. He was fighting a zero to life, and then he ended up being this charge and trial. And then now he just wanted to show me the route. So now he has shown me the route at a young age to actually do what we were supposed to do. So he
Okay.
tried, but he wasn't very that much successful at it. And then I just found my own route. So now while I was growing up, my family and friends were still getting encounters with the law enforcement. So it was unfortunate that I had got picked up from there because I fit a description that they said it was me. So I did my time in jail. But when I did that time in jail, I actually learned some stuff. I really found myself. I
Yeah.
found my purpose, like what I really want to do. Like I found God. I got real close to God. Got real close to myself. I started doing routines and what do I actually want in life from 10, 20 years from now. And once I actually found that, I started reading like real books.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know about the law enforcement, so I actually dove deep into the law library. I got real good at that repetitively. And then
Mhm.
once I learned enough of that, I really start implementing with my lawyer. My lawyer didn't know too much. I start giving my lawyer pointers, and then when I start giving him pointers on stuff like filing motions, it started working, and he was so surprised. He
Mm.
was like, "How do you know this?" You know, and I was like, "Man, I'm here working. I'm not just playing.
Right,
I want
right.
to go home." So
That's sweet. That's
so
sweet.
once that happened, I was fortunate enough to bond out for $20,000 right
Okay.
before my birthday. I bonded out in June, and then the day before trial, they was coming with crazy deals. And then I was like, no, I'm not taking no deals. And then the day before trial, my lord called me and said, man, we got your case dismissed, man. Congratulations, man. And that was the
Wow,
best
what a
news after
blessing.
that.
Right. So
Yeah.
let me ask, when you say law enforcement, there was these encounters. What type of, not, you don't have to go too deep, but you kind of repetitively said like your family was running into law enforcement issues. Was they just kind of picking on y'all because of your culture, or kind of be a little more specific what was going on there?
So yeah, so it was a select few people that wasn't doing the right things, like little robberies and stuff like that. But it wasn't everybody because Omaha, Nebraska has the biggest Sudanese community in the United States right now, still to this day. It has the
Mm.
biggest Sudanese community. So they don't know who's who. Every description is kind of similar. Like a lot of people had
Oh,
dreads or like
oh.
no hairs, you know what I mean? Like haircuts and
Hmm.
stuff. So all the description was very much similar. So
Okay.
once they actually recognized by that, they just started picking up random people. So
Wow.
indictments start coming and everything like that. So that was
Wow.
that was the big thing like that for sure.
Wow. Yeah, that's deep. And I've been gone for 21 years, so I never heard of that. But yeah, I'm glad you was able to catapult and now segueing into where you are now in Nashville. What gave you the courage to really just get up and leave the nest like that? Was it because of that background and that drive was your ambition developed because of your unfortunate situation? What really gave you that courage to leave Omaha and just move to Nashville in the trucking business?
Yeah, so right when I was young, I always told myself this is not going to be the final destination. I knew it was more to life. I knew it was bigger stuff to do because Omaha is a very small place. Like everybody knows everybody. So I always
Yeah.
told myself this is never going to be my final destination. And I always was kind of delusional. Like I told myself like I'm going to be a business owner. Like I'm going to go into business. I'm not going to be doing the ordinary that people done. I'm going to be the one to change my family history and everything like that, and just financially and everything like that for sure.
Why the transportation business?
So that's a good question. The first reason why I did the transportation business because I did a lot of research on it, and it kind of resonated with me very much. because what I was looking for was kind of instant gratification, but not really instant gratification. And
Mm-hmm.
it was the first industry that was really quick to go into. So I just wanted the
Okay.
industry to really go quick into and then transfer to like real estate. I really wanted to go into real estate and stuff like that.
Okay. And so, how long did it take you to get your CDL to drive?
So I didn't do the CDL ones. I did the box truck. The box trucks, they don't
Oh,
require no CDL. It was a regular license. So that
right.
was a plus because I was thinking about
Okay.
doing the CDL. That's what I thought it was. But no, so I didn't have to do that. It's just regular license, and then I just hit the ground running with there from there.
Okay. Yep. You sound like me trying to get improvise. If you don't gotta get the CDLs, you can do the box truck. I feel you
Yeah,
get there, and then eventually you'll get to the CDL. So explain your day to
yeah.
day operations as a owner operator. With the box trucks. Explain your operations day to day.
Okay, definitely. So the day to day of my operations, I would wake up early. I would dispatch myself. I usually would hire a dispatcher, but I was thinking to I want all the money to come to me. That's my kind of mindset. I want
More
all the
money
money to
in.
come to me. So
Yes, sir.
I understand the dispatching game. So I started dispatching myself. So around 8 between 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., I'm looking for loads. And by not about 10 a.m. I get a load, and what I want to do, I started off with going all over the US. So I would take a load from Nashville to Texas, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I really started. And those were like the lows would go from like $1,000 to $2,000. It really depends on it. So I knew like the ins and outs and the cheat codes to actually get the most out of the trucking industry.
Right. And when you get in the box truck, you have your own or you rent them from U-Haul? Because if you rent it out, you paying out money. So then it's kind of getting into your money. How you maneuver that?
Yeah, so I started off with renting, but I don't want people to start off renting because that's not a good way to start.
Mm.
Renting, actually, you're losing money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I started off without the credit game first because I didn't have the credit game down pat. So I was doing all money out of pocket. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
really hurted me in the long run. So everything all when I first started, I was generating money. I was generating like 5,000 to 6,000 a week, but I really wasn't pocketing anything. It was going to all expenses. And I
Right.
was trying to
Right.
figure it out. And I
Right.
had no
Right.
mentor. That's one thing I encourage people to do is get a mentor because I didn't have a mentor. So I was making all the mistakes by myself, just trying to figure it out. Definitely.
All right. So where can the people follow you at? What's your social media handles?
Okay, yes, sir. So my social media you can find me on Instagram and TikTok. My Instagram is aki.kurla and it's spelled AHKI.Kurla, KERLAA.
Okay. Man, thank y'all for joining.